Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I have a patron shout out request for Polska Bob. Bob is one of my oldest community members, at all, even on YouTube. But he's my second oldest patron, and he's been with me for almost from the very beginning of my Patreon. So I can't thank Bob enough for all his support over the last couple of years. It's been fantastic, and I really appreciate it. Bob has me listen to something that I may have heard. I don't know if I've heard it. He has me listening to Smashing Pumpkins with their song Bodies. Now, I was never a big Smashing Pumpkins fan. There's a few songs I know I heard, especially off of this specific album. I've heard Tonight, I've heard Bullet with Butterfly Wings. I may have heard Zero, maybe. That seems familiar in my head. But it wasn't my type of music back when it came out, and it just never really hooked me. Tonight, I know is a fantastic song, and even when it's on the radio, I listen to it. It's cool. I know Billy Corgan, the lead singer, is really was involved in Ozzy's last show, the Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning show. He's kind of been pushing to try to maybe bring back Ozfest in honor of Ozzy, which is an amazing thing for him to try to do. And it's a great idea to do that for charity. The money they raised for charity on that Back to the Beginning show was insane. And if they could do that yearly under the Ozfest, music festival, that'd be amazing. But I'm excited for this. I'm like I said, I was never a big fan of Smashing Pumpkins, but I didn't dislike them either. It was one of those things. If they're on the radio, I'm listening to them. Billy Corgan has a very unique voice, and the couple songs, like I said, I know I've heard from this album. They're cool. So I'm really excited to get to hear one that possibly I haven't heard. So this is from 1995 too, although the thing says, I guess it was remastered in 2012. So the date that you'll see on the screen when I switch over is not the correct date for the song. But I'm really excited. So Bob, thank you so much. Okay, so again, Bob, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you so much for your support. This is a patron shout out request for Polska Bob of the Smashing Pumpkins with Bodies. Okay, it's interesting. It doesn't sound familiar, so I don't think I've heard it before. Although Billy Corgan's voice, like I said, is so unique. When you hear it, you're like, oh, I know that voice. So it's almost familiar, even though the song's not. The band at the time, the band actually is current except for the bass player. Billy Corgan, James, and Jimmy. James on guitar, Jimmy on drums. Those drums are cool. The drums are super syncopated, and it's just there's a lot of chaos going on in this song, but it's very it's weird. I was about to say it's very regimented. There's a regimented chaos in the song. Very cool. And then the bass player at the time was Darcy, and that's the version of when I think of them as the band. This picture, this is the band I see. There's a lot going on in there. The guitars between Billy and James is very, busy, and then the bass with Darcy is a really good cool bass line. Like I said, the drums are just going crazy. It's a cool song. It is. Basically, I skipped alt rock. I was in the 80s. I was 80s and early 90s. I was a big fan of glam metal, hair metal, whatever you want to call it, and make fun of me if you want. I love it. I still love it to this day. And then I transitioned from that into more like heavy metal and the heavier, meaner stuff. And there's a lot of alt rock and grunge rock that I kind of skipped over, which is why I never really caught the Smashing Pumpkins. Really, I went from Motley Crue and Twisted Sister to Manowar, Megadeth, stuff like that. So I skipped that section of time where I didn't listen to a lot of Smashing Pumpkins. I didn't listen to a lot of Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, stuff like that. It wasn't my thing. But I appreciated it, but I didn't really listen to it. So, but this is cool. I'm digging the song. It's really good. So. Very cool. Okay, that was a patron chat request for Pulse Kebab of the Smashing Pumpkins with Bodies. It was a cool song. The term that came to mind after I was about halfway through the song, and then it went to that quieter section, and then it came back in big. Smashing Pumpkins is kind of uses that wall of sound technique where there's not a whole lot of separation in the guitar riffs. There's not a lot of intricate guitar playing. The way Billy sings is very. It's probably natural for him, but to me it sounds forced. Like he's singing so forward in his mouth, which makes it very unique. And you know his voice the second you hear it. You know Billy Corgan's voice, and it was a cool song. My favorite song is probably still Tonight Tonight. I mean, it's a quieter song. It shows a whole different side of them. But this was cool. What they were doing back in the '90s was killer. It set them apart from all the other alt rock and grunge bands because they were very unique. Their sound was very unique. It was cool, and I'm even though I didn't really listen to them, I'm glad they got to do what they did because they're still playing today, and this was 30 years ago, so that's impressive. So sorry, Bob, thank you again so much for your support. It really does mean everything. I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate that. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time.